So officially welcome you to Flourishing Forever. We are here today to talk about supercharging your life with boundless energy and vitality. Anybody that would be interested in having that, right? Boundless energy and vitality. I like to describe it. It's like waking up in the morning and realizing you just won the lottery again. You're like, yes, I did it. This is awesome, right? It's a really great way to start the day, I got to tell you. So thank you for being here with me. I love the opportunity to connect with you, and let's just get going. So I want to say first, a little bit of housekeeping, just a little bit. So if you could grab a pen and paper, you will want to be able to take notes, and I will ask you to use that to jot down questions to the end. So we will have the opportunity to do some Q&A at the end. I don't know exactly how long this is going to take because it depends on how many questions you have in the middle and throughout some of the journaling things we're going to be sharing. So if you could jot down questions so we can come back to it at the end, that would be awesome. The other thing I'm going to ask is to keep the chat clear to avoid distractions, because if we have a little side conversations in the chat, even when it's productive and kind and helpful, it can be very distracting. To me, as I'm talking, you'll notice that it's hard. I really try to stay focused on you and what I'm talking about. And yesterday I started like reading the chat out loud as I was saying something else, and the brain just doesn't always work that way. So it'll be distracting for me, but also for other people trying to pay attention. So I appreciate you understanding and honoring that. Okay. All right. Now I can see where everybody's from. Yeah, we got people from all over the place. I love it. Cool, cool, cool. Good. All right. And like I said, thanks for being here on your Saturday. So I want to make it worth your while. We're going to have fun regardless, but I also want to throw in a couple fun prizes. So I will ask you a couple of times throughout our session today to pop into the chat and answer questions or share something. And when I cue you to engage, then I want you to light up the chat like crazy and share all the things. And I will be giving away two prizes. One is a signed copy of my book, Baby Got Back in Her Pants. The other is a signed copy of my cookbook, the Forever Diet Cookbook. I have it sold out on there as a reminder. This is not available anywhere else. So I don't yet have it on Amazon. Maybe it'll show up there someday. Maybe it won't. It's important to me to have it spiral bound. So right now I'm just selling it directly. And this is a great way to get your hands on it if you don't already have it. Okay, so if we're new, I know there's some folks here that I've not met before. So hello, let me first say that I am Christin Bummer. I know we've been interacting with emails and chat already, but here we are face to face. So I am the best-selling author of Baby Got Back in Her Pants, and I've helped hundreds of people to get so much more out of life than they ever thought possible. And that is what I do all day, every day. It's how I spend my time, and it's a really great way to spend my time. Now, some people do assume that I've just got everything figured out. And I just want to tell you, that's not really the case. I have figured out a lot, but I want to be clear, this has not been a just super easy peasy path for me either. I have overcome a lot of struggles. I couldn't even fit them all on this slide, but I also don't like to dwell in the negative. So you're going to see me breeze through this pretty quick. So just to sort of recap, I was very athletic and active all when I was growing up in high school, college, and beyond. But I started to get overweight after those sports stopped. And then I found my way into a prescription for high blood pressure medication by the time I was age 32. I also had high cholesterol, borderline high blood sugar. And this was very concerning because I have a family history of heart disease, stroke, diabetes, dementia, and cancer, right? Really fun. So not so fun. And very concerning when I was at 32 and like, oh my gosh, these things are knocking on my door. What are we going to do about it? But at the same time, I had just been laid off from my job after buying a new house. That was a little stressful, and that was not the end of my stress. So I sold a house, built a house, sold my business, and had a baby all in a few months. Now, prior to this happening, I did figure my stuff out with a whole food plant-based lifestyle, and it was awesome. And all of my lab work came in just perfectly textbook the way it was supposed to. My blood pressure dropped just like it was supposed to, and everything was working just like it was supposed to. I also lost all my excess weight. But then when all these stresses happened, things changed a little bit. It was very difficult to maintain the lifestyle that I had begun to create. And this is really what started my job of doing this and teaching this now, because despite all the crazy things going on, my father-in-law was also diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. And 6 weeks after his diagnosis, he passed away. Our baby was only 3 months old by the time that happened. So talk about a whirlwind. It was a crazy, crazy time. His passing was also a really important reminder of how important it is to me to stay on track and to keep going. So even though eating healthy was kind of the last thing that I cared about, the last thing I had bandwidth for, the last thing I wanted to prioritize, I didn't quit. And I kept on going. And I knew that we had already unlocked something that was powerful because all of my health markers had come into line. So I knew that we were onto something, but I still needed to make some tweaks and figure out how to make this work in a crazy world that's not necessarily easy and set up for me to succeed. So I kept going and I learned how to become a resilience machine. And that is something that I hope for everybody that I ever talk to, if you could figure out how to become a resilience machine, you've got it mastered, because that's what it takes. That will carry you through no matter what happens. So this has to make me chuckle a little bit. Pollyanna was one of my favorite movies when I was growing up. I don't know if it influenced me or if I just liked it because this was already my nature. But I do want to offer fair warning. People have told me if you hang out with me for too long, I just might brainwash you into believing in yourself and knowing that you can achieve anything. I know that's not for everybody. So fair warning, that can happen and often does. So we're going to be talking about fun and living life today. So I just want to give you just a little teensy insight into what fun looks like for me. And I am the first to tell you, everybody's different, and that's as it should be. So we took our whole family to Busch Gardens earlier this summer to Williamsburg, Virginia, and we dragged my 75-year-old mother-in-law on Apollo's Chariot, which is a wild roller coaster, and had so much fun. And that is my personal dream and wish, to just be riding wild and crazy roller coasters as long as I possibly can and loving it. On that same trip, we also took our daughter to horseback riding lessons. She and I both got to ride. And that's another thing that I feel like as people age, we just sort of think that activities like that are for young people, and they don't have to be. And I'm going to show you another horseback rider later today. For me, that's fun. That was one of the highlights of my entire summer, was being able to go horseback riding with my daughter. And super vulnerable post here. This is me on our camping trip. This is probably 3 days without getting into a real shower. And we had bought face painting kits. And that's one thing that I use as a trick for myself. If I'm at a party and everybody's worried about the food and the buffet and all the things, I'm over there in the corner doing face painting and all the kids. Now, I am not an artist, I trust me. But I bought a face painting kit. It had instructions, and kids are very forgiving because they just love to have something on them. So I use that to keep myself occupied, so I'm not, wandering to the buffet too many times, keeping an eye on all the temptations that are there. But that's fun for me. On that same camping trip, we also had it was actually a Christmas in September party. So this was our snowball fight. And I love, this is my daughter and her friend playing in all the suds, as I was as well. I hadn't brought my bathing suit. I didn't think it was going to be as hot as it was, but I ended up jumping in the pool anyway in my clothes so that I could cool off. And I share that because that was a reminder to me when I did that. I don't have to take life too seriously. We're here to have fun. We're here to have a good time. If I want to cool off and I happen to be in my clothes, I'm just going to let go of whatever thoughts and chatter are in my brain about people thinking it's weird. And I'm just going to do what I would like to do. So I like to impart some of that wisdom on you, and perhaps the mentality to let go of what other people are thinking and just do you. If you're doing you and being happy and it's not harming anybody or anything, keep at it. Okay. So why blue zones training, right? I have been teaching these concepts for years, but there's a reason why I'm shouting from the rooftops about the blue zones training, because I feel like they have done, they meaning the movie, Dan Buettner, who's also had books out for many years. He's been researching this since at least the 90s, if not before. And the Netflix documentary is very, very well done. They have done an amazing job of taking what they've learned from the blue zones and teaching it in a way that we can understand what's going on and why it's important. So the reason also why I feel it's important to talk about this now is because we're at a kind of a crossroads in a way, right? So our life expectancy is shrinking. The children today are the first generation that are not expected to outlive their parents. That's not been the case, but that is the case right now. We are sicker and sicker as a population and generally less happy. And many people are missing out on so much that life has to offer. I'm not going to fill you with sob stories today, but the stories that I hear of real people that I really work with who had previously been missing out so much on life are able to turn things around. It's very hopeful and it's important. If we do nothing, we will continue to see our health kind of spiraling increasingly out of control. That's not a real fun prospect for me. The way Dan Buettner says that most of us are leaving good years on the table. And I think that's true. That's a great way to look at it. And it's not about preventing death. Like, I'm not here to teach you how to live to 150 or even 100, but it's about learning how to live while you're here. None of us are going to escape this planet without passing through some form of death, I'm afraid. I hate to break that to you, but that's okay, right? So it's not about preventing death and living forever and ever. It's really about choosing and empowering yourself to choose how you're going to spend your remaining years on this planet together. Again, those are some direct quotes from the documentary. So you deserve to love the life you live. And I hope you already do. And I hope you can learn to love it even more and more and more with each passing day or year. And if you don't currently love the life you live, please know that that's okay. We're so not done changing, tweaking, transforming, right? And so you can, please know that there is always hope. You can turn things around and you can learn to love the life that you live. And this is the missing piece for so many people, even a lot of people I've worked with in the plant-based world. We are making positive changes and we're kind of going through the motions, but we're not in love with what we're creating. We're not paying attention to how we're feeling about it. We're just kind of forcing our way through. I just want to lose 15 pounds. I just want to lose 150 pounds. And we're forgetting that there's a lot of different pieces to that puzzle. And so focusing on loving the life you live has become a really important missing piece. Okay, so I want to hear from you. This is where we light up the chat. How are you feeling today? So if you can just kind of give me a clue where you're at. Are you curious and that you're curious how much your life could improve? You're not really sure. Are you on a roll where you're already in a good place? Maybe you're already plant-based. Maybe you're already exercising really well and you just want to be more consistent. Or are you in the let's go camp where you are so freaking ready to bounce out of bed in the morning, feeling like you just hit the lottery? So are we curious, on a roll, or let's go? Let me know how you are feeling. I want to hear from you. All right, I've got some curious. I've got let's go. I've got on a roll. Plant-based, but a yo-yo to junk food vegan. Everybody raise their hand because that's a lot of people. I so know that. That's so common. On a roll, on a roll, on a roll. Love it. And if you're in Facebook, by the way, I am going to, oh, sorry, nobody's on Facebook. Just kidding. Yeah, it didn't work. Okay. Scratch that from the record. Curious, trying to surpass fatigue, and I keep trying. Love it, love it, love it. Living my best life. That's right. Vegan, but definitely struggle with junk food. Yep. Okay. Good, good, good. On a roll. Okay, good. Thank you for chiming in. If you didn't yet, please feel free to do that. Let's talk about for a second, what does it mean to have a happy, healthy life? What does that mean? I showed you some pictures from what I like and enjoy, but I'm not everybody. I know we're all different. Maybe you hate roller coasters and that's not your idea of a good time at all. So pop in the chat right now. What does it mean to you to have a healthy, happy life? What do you get from it? And that second piece of it is really, really important. So we're going to pause here for a second because I might want to tweak. Can't help myself tweaking a little bit of suggestions here sometimes. Keeping up with the grands. That's great. That is important, right? I have this picture of people dancing at a wedding. How many people would love to be able to not just survive, but dance at every wedding you come to between now and the end of your days, especially those of your grandchildren or great-grandchildren. Playing pickleball. Yeah, great. Traveling and hiking. More time to enjoy things, less involved in the healthcare system. Absolutely. Yeah, we have adventures every day that don't involve going to a doctor's office, right? Participate in everything that comes my way. What a great way to sum it up, Risa. That's awesome. To be able to say yes, right? When something comes up, I can say yes to that. I don't have to worry about what I look like. I don't have to worry about not fitting into any of my clothes. I don't have to worry about whether I'm going to be too out of breath or whether my legs can hold up or my feet can hold up, right? Something comes my way. Do I want to do it? Yep. I'm there. Sign me up. Having energy, finding activities I love, be more consistently healthy and able to participate more, traveling and exercising without pain. Awesome, 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 awesome. Hiking, outdoors, visiting with family, a good quality of life, freedom to enjoy hiking in the mountains, get to retire soon. Yay, Chris, and healthy to do all the things, active, volunteering and serving my community. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Really good things. If you haven't already, jot some of these things down in your journal. Because it's important to remember what we're doing this for, right? What's the point? And then you hit those moments where you're just like, this feels hard, right? It's easier to just do the drive-through. This feels hard to go shopping and cook something. It feels hard to go and do a walk today. I'm just going to sit. Maybe I'll watch the documentary, right? We're going to sit on the couch and watch a documentary about being healthy and active, right? I understand the irony, trust me. So when you get those moments, it's really good to have these things at the top of your mind, right? This is what I want. I want to have a healthy, happy life. Okay. So love it. Keeping up with the grandkids, being in a place of peace, love, and joy. Ah, beautiful. Our goal is to make it to 100 or older. I love it. I love it. Okay. So where are people already living a healthy, happy, long life? Pretty sure I already know the answer to this. That's why we're here, right? Let's not reinvent the wheel, right? Let's look at what's going on around us. Where is it working and what the heck are they doing that we can learn from, right? That's why we're all here today. I'm going to help you shortcut that process a little bit. So just quick, I mean, again, I don't know if you want to do splits. I've never been able to do splits in my whole life, but to do them in your 90s, that's pretty cool. And then our cowboy here in the bottom is an active cattle rancher. So he doesn't just ride horses for fun. He doesn't just, do joyride and sitting on a horseback, which is still mighty impressive, by the way. Any age over 60, I would say. Any age over 40, probably. That's impressive. He's actually an active cattle rancher. So he is on the go all the time. We're going to talk about some of the reasons why he's able to do that. So where are these blue zones? What the heck are they? So first of all, blue zones are regions where a higher than usual number of people live longer than average. Quite simple, right? These are people living longer, and they're not just living longer, they're living well. And that's something that is described over and over again in the movie. You get to see their day-to-day life and what it looks like. They're not in nursing homes because nursing homes don't exist in any of these places. So it's a very different look at the last 20 years in these places as compared to the last 20 years in the United States and Canada. Okay, so we've got Loma Linda, California. We've got Nicoya in Costa Rica. We've got Sardinia in Italy. We've got Ikaria in Greece and Okinawa, Japan. Okay, so these are the 5 blue zones that have been identified where people are living well for a really long time. And in the movie, they do an amazing job of kind of describing what they're doing. You see what's happening, and they're using this little wheel to really break down and consolidate. What are they doing? What are the overlaps here? Where are we seeing some of the same patterns emerge? And what can we learn from it? So let me recap quickly, and we're going to go into depth into each of these. They move naturally. They have a positive outlook on life. They eat wisely, and they connect. Okay. So again, we're going to go into depth with each of those, but move naturally, positive outlook, eat wisely, and connect. All important things that they are practicing on a day-to-day basis. So move naturally, we're really talking here about accidental activity, right? They are moving all the time without consciously exercising. They don't have a gym membership because they are out growing their own food, tilling the garden with a hoe and a claw, and they're using a machete to cut the grass, right? No lawnmowers, no weed whackers, no gasoline powered, power tools to help with those kinds of things, with the landscaping. They do everything by hand. They don't have Vitamixes. I love my Vitamix, but they don't have those. They don't have Instant Pots. They are doing everything by hand, and it makes a difference. Okay. Not to say Vitamix is bad. We'll come back and talk about that. Walking. They move naturally everywhere they need to go. And not only are they walking, they're walking up and down hills through rough terrain. They're constantly using the stabilizing muscles in their feet and their legs because the terrain is a little bit wonky. Some of the folks in their 90s and 100s are living in 4-story homes. And what do we do here? Right? We get to a retirement community, 55 and over, one level, no more stairs because our knees hurt. Not saying it's wrong, but it's different and might be noteworthy. Okay, outlook. So outlook here, if I sum it up, it means we have stress release, or we're having a purpose. In Okinawa, they call it ikigai. Ikigai is a very powerful concept that everybody needs to have a purpose. Everybody has ikigai, and this is what keeps them motivated and driving. And in Costa Rica, they call it plan de vida, the life plan. Purpose. What are we here for? And they often have a faith-based community, if not often in all of them. Okay, so they're sharing a common outlook. They have faith. They feel that they're a part of something and they belong to something. And of course, they're unwinding. Okay, now eat wisely. So we have mostly plant-based. Now, they're not entirely vegan. I don't think anywhere is entirely vegan. I could be wrong. I have to look back at that. But they're predominantly plant-based. They practice moderation. There's a concept in Okinawa they call harahachibu, which means we eat until 80% full. So I fill my plate. I have all the things I think I want to eat. I eat, and it's okay to eat. But when I'm 80% full, that's when I stop. That's harahachibu. We eat from the earth. They're eating whole foods, right? Not a lot of processed foods here because they're just not there. They talk in one of the places about the 3 sisters, rice, beans, and squash being the perfect combination of foods. They grow together in the land. That's why they're called the 3 sisters. They're also really great health-wise together as well. Now, wine I haven't mentioned yet. I skipped over it on purpose because I'm a little bit mixed on this one still. I don't love promoting wine as a health-promoting food. I think grapes are wonderful. I think other fermented foods are good. I'm a little still on the fence about promoting alcohol as a longevity method. So I think that's a little bit of good news about bad habits, but is it the end of the world if that's your alcohol of choice? No, I just wouldn't suggest starting to drink wine for its health benefits. That's all. Okay, connection. So family first, huge, a multi-generational component to their world, right? They are interacting, they're learning from the elders. The littlest ones are learning from the oldest ones all the time. They're usually living together, caring for elders in their own home. There's a huge emphasis on partnership, marriage. So they have loving, lasting partnerships that they really rely on, and it makes a difference in their world, and a right tribe. So they have people that are like-minded. They work together. They take care of each other. There's a concept called moai in Okinawa, and moai is your tribe. It's these people, but in there, it's a formal group of people that is designated as your moai. And they actually have a financial arrangement where when somebody's struggling, everybody pitches in to help that person, which is a very interesting concept. But at the very least, they have people they know they can count on. They have people that are checking on them and making sure they are okay. All right. So these things seem rather simple. I don't think I've shared anything yet that you've never heard of before, right? Why isn't this our norm? And I think we can all admit this is not our norm as a culture, right? Those of you that, I've been in this lifestyle for a while, this is your norm or is becoming your norm, but not for the masses, certainly not for the masses. And there's a few reasons for that. For good or bad, the time-honored traditions of all the blue zones have endured because they didn't really have a choice. There's a lot of isolation, like geographical isolation, that has caused this level of sort of, I'm going to use the word behind the times. It makes me cringe because behind the times implies that's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Their time-honored traditions have endured, though, because they're separated from the advances in the modern world, right? These are places that are a bit separate from the modern world, whether by geography or by choice. So our modern world is full of conveniences that remove the need for movement, right? We don't have to take the stairs. We don't have to get up and press a button on the TV anymore to bring in streaming news, entertainment, comedy, drama from all over the world anytime we want it. Why would we go anywhere else, right? And a lot of people do sit and watch TV because it's so bingeable and convenient, right? When it's easy to do it, we're going to keep doing it. I want you to remember that. When it's easy to do it, we'll keep doing it, okay? And of course, cars, enough said. Social media has fostered a bit of a negative outlook in general, right? We look there and we see decadent food, advertising anywhere, even outside of social media. We see temptations. We see other people's perfection. We start judging ourselves. We have a very skewed outlook on what life even looks like. Same thing goes for news cycles. The next big disaster. We are the opposite of unwind. We are walking around with our hair on fire, wondering what's going to happen next. Even when it doesn't affect you, even when it's not in your home, in your family, in your neighborhood, you see bad things happening to other people and it hurts your heart, right? And so we have this skewed perspective of the world and it gives us kind of a grim outlook sometimes. Healthy choices, especially in the US, are more expensive and harder to find. These are all sort of the typical foods that some of these locations are known for. Do you see any healthy ones? Are you all flying to Hawaii to live with me because they at least have pineapples, right? So, but how crazy, this is what we're known for. These are like our classic foods of certain places. And I didn't even realize this the first time I looked at this map. Pittsburgh made the map. Those are pierogies, if you're not familiar with them. They're pierogies. It's like a dumpling, wonton that's not, I don't know, it's different, but it's not real healthy. Technology connects and also divides us. Marriages are strained, divorce is high, so many single parents are struggling alone, and there's no question this has an effect on our longevity. No question. That absence of connection, right? So our typical sedentary lifestyle is leading to an emptiness that's all too easy to fill with food, right? Feeling a little bit down, outlook not so good, stressed out by something. Here's a takeout meal. Here's a fast food restaurant. Here's a bottle of wine or 2 or 3, right? All these different things that we use to fill up that emptiness with junk food. Ugh, doesn't lead us anyplace good, right? We know that. We're aware when we do it. Right? So what can we do, right? I'm done painting the grim picture. You get the idea of what it's about. I want to shift focus to what can we do? By the way, if you remember one thing from this training, let it be this. Always ask the question, what can I do? In those moments when you're frustrated, you're beating yourself up, you're feeling down, I want you to ask the question, what can I do? Okay. So knowing is half the battle. Thank you, G.I. Joe. Appreciate that. True. Knowing's good, right? We can learn stuff and it's useful. We can learn tips and tricks from other people. We can watch a great documentary, but until we flip to doing it, it's not doing us any good. Okay. So we want to flip from just learning to actually doing. So the blue zones have thrived with these lifestyle choices because they were automatic, right? Accidental movement. The culture of eating together is just normal. Eating off the land is the only choice, right? So those lifestyle choices are automatic and subconscious. So as a result, they have healthy lifestyle on autopilot, right? So that's going to become our objective. How do we get it on autopilot? So let me ask you, what can you do in your life to make healthier, happier choices more automatic? All right, here's a good place to pull out your journal, and we're going to put our heads together here, one at a time, one section at a time. I mean, how can you get more natural movement in each day? Go ahead and pop in the chat first. Type some ideas in the chat. That way we'll all get to see them. And then you write in your journal what you wrote, as well as what you're gaining from other people. Okay, so if you think about natural movement, doing things by hand, maybe you're growing a garden, maybe you're walking, that's just the start. What other things can you do for more natural movement? I've got some things I'm going to share, but I want to see what you come up with first. And if you're watching this on the replay, I want you to certainly take your own notes, but I'm going to repeat this in our Facebook group so that you can see some of the other, and we'll populate that with some of the other suggestions as well so that we can all benefit. I'm going to read out things that are being said now, but let's use that group to just keep the conversation going. Okay, parking far off to walk to a place. Absolutely. Yep, parking farther away. Wash the truck and trailer. Yeah, we don't need no stinking car wash, right? Wash it by hand. That's great. I love it. When we go somewhere, park farther, take the stairs at work instead of the elevator. Cook my own food. Absolutely. Getting back in the garden. Yeah, garden is something I've been talking about a lot lately, is grounding, where we're actually physically connected to the earth. And gardening is a wonderful way to do that. So is walking barefoot in your yard, so that you have the opportunity, or on the beach, so you have the opportunity to physically connect with the earth. Makes a huge difference in how you feel. Good. Rearrange the furniture. Yes, thanks for mentioning that one. In Okinawa, they have very little furniture, so they sit on the floor. They're sitting on cushions. And I spoke with someone who watched the documentary recently and watched my training yesterday, and she got rid of a lot of her furniture. And now she's practicing sitting on the floor and getting up and down and realizing how little she was doing that before. Cool. Go to grocery store, walk in the cool place. I live in Texas where it's over 100. Yeah, sometimes our environments are not real conducive to exercising outside. Cleaning up by hand, not using machines. Love it. Take the stairs in the condo, get up on the floor. Dance when I cook or bake. I love that. Absolutely. Walk everywhere you can. Cleaning more often and squatting to get things. That's great. So actually just being aware of your body mechanics so that you're actually squatting down rather than, bending down all the time, which is hard on your back. If we use proper body mechanics, it really makes a big difference. Good. These are some great things. Good job. Okay. So make sure you've written down ones that you like, and we'll come back to this. Walk during meetings and phone calls. That's such a good one. I do that all the time. When I get on the phone, I just stroll. In fact, I used to do this back in the day when I had a cord attached and I had to buy the longest cord possible. So I was attached to the wall, but I would still pace. That was always my habit, to pace. Now I pop on AirPods and I can go walk a couple of miles during a phone call, which is great. Okay. So here's some other ones that I came up with that you may wish to add to your list. Dancing, and there's different things like Zumba. So you can go to a class, you can look on YouTube for free. There's swing, there's ballroom, there's living room. There's literally a course called living room dancing. It's a date night course that popped up in the time of COVID lockdown, and is a really fun way to learn how to dance at home. So if you're not comfortable going out and dancing in public, do it in your kitchen while you're cooking or baking, while you're brushing your teeth. Walking, jogging, taking the stairs. We all talk about parking farther away. Minimizing furniture where possible. I'm actually standing at a standing desk. If you can tell my natural movement as we're talking, I'm talking with my hands. I'm standing at a desk, shifting my weight around, and it's just natural. I do sometimes stand on one foot to practice balance, which is always a good idea as well. But there's also a treadmill desk, exercise ball chair, and a kneeling chair. So all different ways. So if you don't want to stand or you can't stand, there are other ways you could modify maybe your desk situation so that you are creating a situation where your body has to hold itself up, right? The exercise ball, that's the beauty of it. Your core is working all day long just to keep you upright, right? Similar to standing too. Exercise ball even more so because you're off balance a little bit. The alternative, what we're usually doing is slouching in a chair, right? Your body is not holding anything up. Maybe your neck is doing some work, but not often we have these big high desk chairs or couches or lazy boys that literally hold your head up. So you don't even have to do that. If you ever want to realize how much you hold your head up, hurt your neck. I've had multiple whiplash injuries, and oh my goodness, you realize that the littlest movement does require muscles in your neck to hold your head up straight. So don't recommend it, but if you do that, you will notice how much effort your body does make when it needs to, just to stay upright. Okay, let's move to the next one. So outlook. How can you embrace a more positive outlook? So go ahead and share ideas in the chat. So we're thinking of things like stress reduction, faith-based practices, if that's something that you do, having a purpose, volunteering. So what kinds of things could you do to improve your outlook? And go ahead and pop in the chat, and then I'll share, and then we can capture whatever works for you. Meditation practice. Yep, that's a good one. I always think of breathing. Meditation, prayer, doing something for others. Absolutely. The moment you do something for someone else, it changes your outlook, right? Because you're no longer stuck in your own problems, in your own world. You are thinking of things from other people's perspective. You're seeing it differently. And often your problems don't seem so big anymore. And that's really useful, right? That's really useful because it changes your personal outlook. Like, okay, that thing that was really bad, I can deal with that. That's a good way to feel, right? Volunteering, worship music. I volunteer in parks, talking with diverse people, being outside. Yeah, talking to people who are different from you gives you a different perspective on life. Gratitude journal, volunteer work, cut down on news watching. Yes. Volunteer to help a cause that needs to be changed. Prayer, studying, meditation, volunteering. I love it. Gratitude practice, reflecting or tapping. Love tapping. Sing in the choir. It helps me to get there every week. That's important, right? There's a reason, I think, why there's multiple reasons, but the faith-based practices are usually ritualistic, which means repetitive and in groups. And so you've got connection built in and a little bit of accountability too, right? Because everybody's expected to go, or it's just everybody does go. And so you don't want to miss it. It's just the way of life, right? Assisting people in need, minding your own business. Yes, that helps your outlook sometimes. Beaches and mountains, creation, regular meetups with like-minded people, meditation, Reiki. I choose one card. I call them angel cards every morning. Love it. Grateful journaling every day, helping those in need is fulfilling, staying off social media. Good stuff. Really good list, guys. Okay, so capture what you want, maybe some reminders of things you hadn't thought of, and add it to your list so you have kind of some notes to look back on. Some other things I'll add to that are morning rituals and after work rituals to release stress. If you don't have that in place, You need that in place. Trust me. Relaxing sleep environment, same thing. So powerful to make sure that you're getting a good night's sleep. All the healing that we do happens at night while we're sleeping. And if you don't have good habits sleeping, or if you're eating, snacking right up until bedtime, your body is spending the first several hours of that powerful sleep time digesting, not healing. So that's one good reason that, I don't talk a ton about intermittent fasting, but I highly recommend it from the perspective of let's stop eating 5 or 6 hours before bed so that you can get that food digested and be done with digestion for the most part. And your body can change its resources to healing while you're sleeping. Okay. And we talked a lot about this other thing. So good, good, good. Okay. Let's move to the next one. So eat wisely. I hope you're getting a good list here of things that you can work on. How can you eat more wisely? Share in the chat. And I'm curious if you want to make it part of your suggestion, how many people are already plant-based or have been plant-based, or versus want to be plant-based versus don't even know about plant-based? So I'm just kind of curious where you're at in that journey too. If we have a minute to share. Plant-based for the most part. Yeah. Add more vegetables to your plate. Already plant-based. Yeah. And while we're on that topic, in the movies, like I said, they're not 100% vegan. And they are, well, let me just say this. They're doing well, but they are also doing all these other things, right? So that's something that I kind of keep reminding myself, because I've had some of these conversations with folks who say, yeah, they're not 100% vegan. And I get that. However, they are 95 years old climbing 4 flights of steps each day. So that may be allowing them to have a little more wiggle room in their diet than somebody living a very sedentary life here, or somebody living here with not only decades and decades of fast food, junk food, processed foods, convenience foods, but also generations and generations and generations of eating this way, right? Whereas they are more protected, their genetics, meaning what's passed down through the culture, the way they eat, the recipes living off the land, that's being reflected in their genetics too. Which is also a good reminder, because when you make changes in your diet and lifestyle, it changes your genes, it changes what's passed on to the next generation and the generation after that. Okay. So it does make a difference. And I feel like we want to learn from them, but also remember that we're not exactly like them in some other ways that are important. Okay. So I'm here to never preach you have to be 100% perfect all the time, or it's not worth it. No, that's not the case at all. But I do want to just kind of bring a little perspective to that conversation when we talk about plant-based. Okay, more organic, especially on the meats, totally whole food plant-based, also researching a lot about glucose in our bodies, which affects our health and can age us. Yep. Eating in moderation, whole food plant-based for 12 years, mostly whole food plant-based, but I stray and yo-yo to junk. Yep. Want to work more in moderation, trying to get back to plant-based, whole food plant-based 5 years this November. Happy anniversary. Be plant-anniversary, if you will. Plant-based but need cleaning up. Yep. Okay. Mostly plant-based, still confused by egg whites and low-fat dairy. Okay, cool. Let's talk about that. We'll come back to that for the question part. Plant-based. Okay, awesome. Good, good, good. Don't go inside to shop where temptations abound. Isn't that the truth? Yes, lots of temptations are everywhere. Okay, so make sure you're capturing some things that are good for you to incorporate. Some other suggestions: choose whole plant foods as the norm, right? Whole plant foods as the norm. This means rice and corn, not rice checks and cornflakes. Right? So they're made with vegetables, but they are no longer whole foods, right? Keep your veggies in the fridge all cut up, or just buy them cut up if that works for you. Grapes and strawberries in my fridge will rot. They will rot unless I pluck them off the vine and wash them and then put them back in the fridge. When I do that, we all, myself included, will eat more fruit. Crazy. Cutting the slices, cutting the top off a strawberry will stop my 9-year-old from eating it, even though she could pick it up and eat everything but the stem. That will stop her. So if I cut the stem off, she's got a much greater chance of actually using it. So what is simple? I know that sounds silly, but what a simple strategy that makes a huge difference. And I'm all for that, right? You show me a small strategy that makes a huge difference, I'm doing that. Right? I don't want a huge strategy that makes a small difference. Nope, 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 nope. Other way around, right? Having grab and go meals always at the ready is huge as well, right? Just having, because we gravitate towards convenience foods. So if the convenient foods are the healthy foods, we've made them that way, then we're going to grab them. Okay. How can you create more connection in your life? What can you do to bring about more connection? Let me know. Oops, oops, oops. Okay. What's good for you? What's good connection? Your M365 group, yes. Participating in more meetup groups, have meal with friends, community with church and family. Yeah, really good things. Really good things. Checking in on family and friends. That's huge. Yeah, volunteering doesn't have to be a formal I don't know, every Friday night at the animal shelter or the soup kitchen. Those things are wonderful. Do those if you can. But connection and contribution and volunteering can also just be calling someone or knocking on someone's door. You haven't seen them in a while. You just want to check on them and see how they're doing, right? Instead, even sending a text, something like that. Group exercises, messenger accountability group. Yep. Call an acquaintance or someone you want to know better each day. I love it. Try face to face, more time with friends. Yep. Venture outdoors and talk to people. Butts out of the chair, right? Yeah. Participating in the Facebook group, sitting with neighbors, family group chat weekly. I love it. So many good practices here. Good. Yep. Calling elder family members more often. Yeah. So family time, family meetings, right? That's a great thing. I could talk all day about that. It's a really good practice we've implemented in our family. Having a moai, right? Having a exact troop of people that is your right tribe, right? This group of people that looks out for you and takes care of you. Moai is a really cool word for it. Relationship development, yeah, prioritizing partnerships. And I don't just mean marriage partnerships. I mean people you work with, people you interact with, your kids, your parents, right? Everybody that you're in a relationship with, everybody you're in a relationship with. So developing those positively will help you to connect and have a more positive outlook, right? Finding the right tribe. Yep. Find your tribe and keep them close, as they say. Walking club, tennis and pickleball, train for an athletic event. I am actually going to bounce out of here in a couple of hours and head to a tennis match. And I'm so excited that has become part of my life only in the last year. I've only been playing for the past year and a half. So I love that I have that type of competition and athletic pursuit. It's become a really, really important part of my life. Nelda, will you remind me to come back to Moai at the end? I want to keep moving through, but I absolutely would love to explain that. I think I explained it in the beginning, but I would be happy to explain it. So, okay, before you get too overwhelmed, right? It's a lot. I know that we have just listed out, probably if you're taking good notes, you maybe even have pages or at least a page full of things that you want to start doing more of, right? Which can feel like, eek, I don't know about that. A little bit overwhelming and maybe a little bit of the procrastination starts to set in. You're like, I think I'll do that next year, January, tomorrow, whatever. So before you get too overwhelmed, I just want you to know that it's a good thing to let go of the idea that you need to figure it all out on your own, right? Can we just let go of that concept? I just need to figure it out, right? You don't have to just figure it out. We are actually safer when we stick together. I just love this picture. It's one of my favorite pictures of the year. This is a mother hen taking care of 3 orphan kittens, and she sits on them and keeps them comfortable and safe and protected, right? So we're safer together, even if we're different. Together is good. The truth is, you truly deserve more freedom, more energy and excitement, more motivation to keep going. And you can go from dragging yourself out of bed to bouncing into the day, right? Again, that waking up, I just won the lottery. This is awesome, right? You don't have to win the lottery every day to feel like that every day. How cool is that? Because if we were relying on the lottery, if we're relying on other people even, we're in trouble. But when we realize that we have the power and the ability to make that change and feel that way every day, that's empowerment. That feels good. So give me a quick little rundown on how you're feeling. Are we an R for relieved? Are we O for optimistic? Are we I for inspired? How are you feeling in this moment? Pop me a quick thing in the chat. And just a heads up, I'm going to use this one to choose our winner. So you will want to participate in this one. I am just going to look up at random once they start coming in and pick a first winner is Patsy. All right, Patsy, you are winner number 1. And Debbie Donatelli is winner number 2. All right, so I will reach out to you, but actually if you can beat me to it, reach out to me, just reply to one of the recent emails and let me know that you were one of the winners. I will get you your prizes. Okay, awesome. So what do we see? We see a lot of R's, we see I's, I see O's for inspire or optimistic, I's for inspired, all the above ROI. Yep, nice. Tired but hopeful. Awesome. All right, we can go with hopeful. I love it. So got our winners. Okay, so having more energy allows you to truly live every moment. Yeah, having more energy allows you to truly live in every moment. So you can say yes when you have the opportunity to do these things, to do anything that you want. It doesn't have to be these things. And by the way, I hope it's not all these things, because if we all want to rent one of these bungalows in Tahiti over the water, it's going to get pretty crowded really quick. So I think we all have different dreams, and that's a good thing, right? So what does your most fulfilled look like? This time, just put it in your journal, okay? What does your most fulfilled life look like? What are you doing every day? What are you doing when you're on vacation? What are you participating in that you either are now and you want to maintain, or you can't right now and you'd like to, right? What does your most fulfilled life look like? Capture a few things in that realm. Okay, good. Are those things worth working for? Are those things worth a little inconvenience? Yeah. Okay. There is great news. You can have that. You can have everything that you just wrote down. It can be yours. I've got your back. You can totally live an amazing story, and you don't have to do this alone. Okay. If I may, I'd love to share with you just for a few minutes about one of the options that I have available to support you. It's brand new. So I'll explain it so you know exactly what it is and see if it makes sense for you, or if it doesn't, that's fine. And after that, we'll do Q&A. And after that, we'll have an opportunity to share and teach one of the strategies that I use. So I know this was initially intended to be a 60-minute workshop. We're close to that right now, but there's a lot more coming. So if you're able to stick around, please do. And I think you'd be glad that you did. Okay. All right. So if you could use a little help getting consistent with eating wisely, moving naturally, connecting frequently, and having a more positive outlook, then I think you might want to consider joining the Thrive Tribe. This is all about connection and coaching and accountability, right? It gives you the opportunity to stay consistent with those things ongoing, right? Not just now to the end of the year, not just now till Christmas comes and, things go haywire, but all the time, every year, ongoing, right? It's really big opportunity to get the most out of this life so that you're not leaving health on the table. So these are all things that we focus on every day: finding purpose, soaking up connection, looking forward, staying motivated, picking ourselves up when we're not perfect. And part of the club, I am not perfect. Okay. Don't have to be. Overcome the challenges that we're faced with. And a huge thing is finding the gift in each lesson, not just dealing with the stuff that happens, but flipping it on its head, finding the gift in it. These are all keys to vitality and longevity for sure. Changes everything when you can embrace these concepts, and not just embrace them, not just learn about them, not just hear about them, but do them, right? Knowing is not the same as doing it, especially consistently. And the whole idea, so that no matter what happens, you can always find the light. I want to be like a sunflower so that even on the darkest days, I can stand tall and find the light. And I hope that you do as well. So what is the Thrive Tribe? I'm just going to explain it so you understand it. But in a nutshell, it's how you can go from I should really try harder, work harder, eat better, exercise more, right? All the different things. I shoulda. From that to I love my life, right? Because you're doing the things that you want to be doing, and you're doing it on a consistent basis, and you feel good. So we do that by employing the Transform You course to help simplify your healthy lifestyle. We have a members-only community, a chosen supportive family just for the Thrive Tribe. We have weekly community chat sessions. That can be your Moai. If you don't already have one, oh my goodness, we would love to have you in ours. Group coaching sessions with me, face-to-face support twice a month. This is a cornerstone of the Thrive Tribe, so that we can keep each other going. There's the vault of vitality, so you never lose motivation, and you have accountability to show up and show up and show up. You have a community 24/7 to lift you up, a coach to guide you, accountability buddy to connect with, ongoing assessments to make judgments, and people who get you. You are not weird in our group. You may be weird in your world, right? I'm weird too. But with people that get you, you are not a weirdo. This is the norm. This is autopilot. This is the culture. This is just how we live. And we're doing it together, which makes it so much easier. So how will you feel? I don't know. It's up to you, but Heather says that she's so thankful for this amazing group. She's 85% green light, lost 7 pounds in 8 days, and learned something with every post. Risa said, when I retired, I decided to take control of my health. All my numbers are down. Weight's the lowest in my adult life. I'm playing tennis, enjoying life, not fearful for my heart health anymore. Deb is heart attack proof with cholesterol under 150. Just checked. Thank you. Thank you. Pretty soon, you'll be seeing results like these too. Chris, this is one of my favorite ones. Went to yoga, walked the dog, got the house clean, had roasted veggies for breakfast, and bought some beautiful flowers that make me happy. That's living it. That's doing it. Getting the most out of life, right? Best birthday present ever. Cholesterol dropped from 208 to 173. Couldn't have done it without guidance and my awesome accountability buddy. So good. The transformation is yours for the taking. The butterfly does not look back at the caterpillar in shame, just as you should not look back at your past in shame. Your past was part of your transformation. It'll always be part of your transformation. So will everything today and going forward. It's all part of the journey. And in case you feel shame about needing help, I hear that all the time. I shouldn't need help. I should have this figured out by now. A coach is someone that sees beyond your limits and guides you to greatness. Michael Jordan, one of the best athletes of all time, not only best basketball players of all time, best athletes of all time, had a coach, right? There is no shame in needing help and having someone that can see beyond your limits and guide you to your greatness. So this offer is yours for the taking. This is not for everybody, but if it's for you, I want you to pay attention so that you can decide and see if it might be a right fit for you. So the Thrive Tribe is offered as a 6-month membership so that we have enough time to work together, to stick together and get through your transformation and maintain it. You'll have access to the Transform You course, group coaching sessions with me, connection and accountability that is second to none. You'll also get a one-on-one coaching session, the Vault of Vitality, which is a whole library of quick, simple, short motivational videos that will help you keep moving forward. You'll have the archives of my past workshops and trainings similar to this one on different topics, and you get a welcome kit in the mail, and you're going to love it. It's all the things that you need to keep you moving forward, right? Connection, coaching, accountability. These are the things I've heard from my clients for the past several years. These are the things that help, that make the biggest difference. So if you're ready to jump in, you can go to christinbummer.com/thrive. I want you to know this is a total program value of $8,750, and it is available to you for less than $12 a day. That's less than the cost of lunch. That's a couple Starbucks a day. That's a Starbucks and a muffin, right? There's a lot of things you're paying for $12 a day without even thinking. And it's not helping you. It's not only not helping you, it might actually be hurting you. So if you could shift your investment from takeout, junk food, snacks, drinks, empty calories, and shift it into something that can help you every single day, that's priceless. I don't know how else to say it, but that is life-changing and that's priceless. And it only costs $12 a day, right? So we do that with this founder's rate of $334 a month. So you can make monthly payments if that's easy for you, or you can do $77 a week, and you can save 20% by paying in full, $1,600. That makes it $8 a day. Drastic improvements, amazing change in life for pennies on the dollar. And on top of that, I'm doing a live bonus for the next 24 hours only. You get a free ticket to our weekend immersion. This is something I've been doing for years now. A weekend immersion with us is usually 6 hours on a Saturday, 6 hours on a Sunday. We're getting together on Zoom. We're doing walking parties. We're doing breakout sessions. We're doing advanced training. It's an amazing opportunity for connection. I bring in the most wonderful guest speakers. We are taking this lifestyle to the next level. $1,500 value just for that alone, right? There's lots of goodies in here, all designed carefully to help you, support you, and keep you moving forward. So freedom is yours for the taking. And I invite you to run and join us now. Again, it's christinbummer.com/thrive. I'm going to go ahead and type that in the chat here. christinbummer.com/thrive. I like it when I keep it simple so that you can actually see it. Okay. All right. So I'd like to open up our chat here for questions. So what questions do you have? As I said, I'm going to take a few questions now in case anybody has to go. I want you to have the opportunity to take some and get your questions answered now. And then I want to teach. I'm going to move right into another segment to teach one of my favorite strategies. So if you'd rather just keep moving through, that's okay too. But I just wanted to pause for at least a moment to see what questions you have. While I'm waiting for that, if you are already in M365, I know there's people here that are currently in my group coaching program. You will be getting an email. You probably got an email right as we started that explains everything for you and explains how you'll be transitioned into that new group in a really seamless way. And okay, let's keep moving. Feel free to interrupt with questions. I'm going to do some quick FAQs because again, I did this yesterday and I got some questions already. So one of them is again, what if I'm already plant-based, right? So is this just for newbies? And my answer to this is no, it's never just for newbies. I do have a lot of people that have tried everything before they find me. And so this is totally for people who are already plant-based and just want to take it to the next level. I saw there's several who are plant-based, but get stuck and pulled into vegan junk food or just junk food in general. But it's certainly also for you if you're brand new and you want support. I can't tell you how many times people are like, oh my God, if I had this in the beginning, I would have saved myself so much hassle, so much heartache, and so many mistakes and frustrations. So If you're new, it's totally for you. If you're already plant-based, oh my gosh, we've got levels and levels and levels to help keep you growing too, for sure. How does the group coaching work? So we will have Zoom meetings where we get together and we have group coaching. Now, I've done this in several different formats. One of my favorites I call Inside Edge, and this is similar to that. So if you're familiar with Inside Edge Coaching Circle, we're bringing some of those concepts in here, and we'll take turns having folks sort of in the spotlight, asking their questions, and then going in depth with them on a one-on-one basis while everybody else is watching. And we kind of take turns, throughout the session so that everybody gets an opportunity to have their questions answered. And also, anytime you're listening to somebody else getting coaching, you are learning and taking it in, and you're totally getting that training as well. So that's a great opportunity to take advantage of that. And we'll do that twice a month. How long do I have access? It's a 6-month program. Okay. So from today for 6 months, actually, I'll give you to that if you join today. That actually goes through the end of March, right? So we get the middle of the month to the end, and then 6 months. And do I have your support the whole program? Yes, this is what I do, guys. This is my life. And this is your opportunity to be enveloped in support in an environment that is non-judgmental, that is supportive. And when people come to me with confessions, I think there's so many people in the dieting world who have like, oh, I got to tell you what I did. I did this really naughty thing. And they're like expecting to get yelled at. Sorry, if you want to be yelled at, that's not really my style. I will tell you what you need to hear, even if it's not comfortable sometimes. But it's always, always, always from a place of compassion and understanding, because I've been there, right? I live in challenge. I didn't get to tell you all the crap that's been going on the last 2 years. There are challenges that come in life, and they're not stopping. So having the support from me as well as our community to get through those things. We have had folks in the recent history of dealing with deaths in the family, and I could just cry from seeing all the support and love that they're feeling from people in the community. People who have disappeared for a while and have been really struggling and kind of isolated themselves are welcomed back in with open arms. And in fact, people reach out to them and say, "Where are you? I haven't seen you in a while. Are you okay?" Right? Food addiction, if that's something you resonate with, is something that a lot of people really suffer with. And then we have a lot of ramifications from that, right? And one of them is isolation, right? When people are really kind of deep into addiction, they isolate themselves, and now they can't get help and support. And so if you're prone to that, having a group that will reach out to you and keep you accountable is really, really, really helpful. Okay. I will be sharing the recording from this. Yesterday's training was just this. I made a few modifications actually and improvements in today's to make things a little bit more clear. Some of the training earlier on was a little bit confusing, and we took more time on the journaling today. So this is new and improved, I can tell you. Saturdays is, so this is the replay that we'll get. Okay, what happens after 6 months? So after 6 months, you will have an opportunity to renew again at a greatly discounted rate. I don't have the rates exactly figured out yet. I'd be lying if I said I knew what things are going to look like in 6 months, but I've done similar patterns before with an initial price and then a renewal option. My renewal is always going to be significantly lower than the initial price. So kind of once you're in, then you're in, and we have, lower pricing there. The Thrive Tribe is brand new, Sue. It just opened yesterday. So really excited, something I've been working on for a while, and fine-tuned all the details, and I'm super excited about it. So if there's anything that's still confusing, please feel free to reach out to me. If you're not sure, those of you who aren't sure if you have an active membership or not, please feel free to reach out to me, and I'll be happy to see where you're at. So I've kind of blended some of the things that I've offered into the past into what is to me, and based on feedback that I've been getting, is to me what should be a really amazing option. Do I have immediate access? Yes. You will get invited into the Facebook group right away, the Thrive Tribe Facebook group. And then you also will have immediate access to some of the other things that I have shared, the Transform You course in general, and then the schedule for the coaching. Okay. Start date is right away, Sue. So I don't have the dates published yet, but I will have by the end of the weekend, I will have the dates for our live coaching set up. But once you start, So there's, you get immediate access to it right away. Okay. So would you like, so again, if you have questions, feel free to, ask questions as we go, but I'm also going to walk through this training. And if I interrupted a bunch, it's going to be confusing. So let me just take this one more. I missed the end of yesterday and the beginning of today's. Yep. So this recording today will be available as soon as I possibly can. I'm going to try to get it saved, downloaded, uploaded before I run off to tennis. I will say you'll for sure have it by 7:00 tonight. I can say that for sure. I hope to have it earlier than that, but it's a long recording and sometimes it takes a really long time to get it off of Zoom because they process it before I can access it. Okay. All right. So if you would like some help with habit formation now, if you'd like to stick around, I've got another 7 minutes of training on a specific strategy that I love to share that can really, really help with habit formation. Okay. And it's a way to minimize the to-do list into simple behaviors that you can do every day, right? So rather than, remember that picture of the lady with all the overwhelm, all the different things we're trying to do, we're going to really boil it down in a way that's consumable. And then we're going to track them, right? Track. I'm a nerd for numbers, and tracking really helps to make sure that you're making progress and seeing the progress that you're making. Okay. So plants targets is the strategy I'd like to share. It's what the Blue Zones population practice, but in our modern world, right? So all the different things, he's got 12 different things in the wheel there. I'm going to boil it down to 6. Okay. This is a habit tracker, the plants target tracker. I can make accessible to you. I will send this out with a replay so that you can start working off on your own and you can check your progress as you go. Okay. So what are the plants? It's an acronym that I created to help conceptualize and boil down this big, giant lifestyle change into something that's very sustainable and concise. Okay. So the P is for planning ahead. And this I use as a reminder that life is unexpected. There are always things that will happen that we don't see coming, but there are a lot of things that we really can plan for. If I'm going out to dinner with friends, I can look at the menu in advance and know whether they're going to have something that's great for me to eat, or whether I might want to eat half my meal before I go and save some for when I come home. Right. It also is planning ahead, trying to get extra movement in, right? I'm not just going to show up at the gym accidentally or have a walk and talk with a friend if I don't schedule it with somebody. So it's planning ahead so that you're setting yourself up for a success. Okay. L is for lots of healthy food. And I use the L here for lots because this to me incorporates one of the biggest problems and mistakes that happens when people switch to a plant-based lifestyle. We go from trying to eat only a few fries and only a few cheeseburgers and only a few donuts, right? We have this portion control concept, just a little bite of pie, just one cookie, right? And we take that training that we've been practicing forever and we apply it to our salads or to our vegetables. And we're like, I'm just going to have this, small portions, a little bit of things because I'm trying to lose weight, right? This happens all the time. But the problem is if you do that for too long, you're going to be cutting down on your calories dramatically, not in ways that are beneficial for your metabolism. So we use L for lots of healthy food as just a reminder to eat a good portion, right? Balanced portions of good food. And the other reminder here is that this is not perfection, right? The L for lots of healthy food is to incorporate more healthy food. So I always like to look at lifestyle change and diet and nutrition as how can I get more nutrients into my life? How can I add more healthy foods, right? It's more about adding more healthy foods than it is restricting all the other stuff. Because if I focus too much on restricting all the other stuff, and I really want the other stuff, right? You tell me I can't have it and I want it even more, right? And I know a lot of people are the same in that regard. So we do L for lots of healthy food to keep the mindset in the right place. A for activity, accidental activity. We talked about that a lot already. Certainly a good cornerstone of a healthy lifestyle. N for nice. I always remember my Pollyanna here. We're being nice to ourselves. We're being nice to other people. We're doing random acts of kindness. We're thinking nice thoughts about other people. We're looking in on people. We're checking on them, right? So a lot of the things that we've talked about here, N is for being a nice person. And T is for thankful. This is gratitude practice. A lot of people brought this up in the Outlook section, right? So you can see how much overlap there is with the blue zones, concepts and pillars, and these plants targets. Okay. S is for sleep. Pretty simple. We talked about that a lot already. Having good sleep habits is really, really powerful, not just for feeling better and feeling energized in the morning, but for all aspects of your health. So if we focus on these targets, you will get more life in your years. You'll probably get more years as well, but you'll definitely get more life in those years without the overwhelm and procrastination. So many folks get stuck kind of wandering off track, right? Going back to old habits because of overwhelm and procrastination. And the plants targets are one little strategy that can help you to overcome that tendency. Okay. So question I have for you is, are you ready now to flourish forever? So let's do it, whatever that looks like for you. Let's supercharge your life with boundless energy and vitality. And let's do it together, because why not? It's so much more fun together. So again, there's the website, christinbummer.com/thrive.